Hi, I'm Doug.
And I'm Cathy.
And this is Maggie Mae. Join us as we follow the moon.
Today we are at one of my favorite places. This is Windsor, Missouri. And my mother was born here. My grandmother lived here and raised all of her children here. And this is a place that is so special to me because I spent my childhood coming back here over and over as we were traveling around. And we're also going to show you Farrington Park, which is a little campground that we're staying at while we visit.
So come along. Now, on the east side of town, just off of Route 52 to the north, is County Line Road, and it divides Windsor's Henry County
and Pettis County, yes. And we've actually turned on to Pettis Road or Pettis Street, and that's the street. This field right here was in between my grandmother's house and my grandmother's best friend's house. And as we come up to this tree right here off to the right was actually the yard and where my grandmother's house was. My grandfather built this for her. When they first moved here, he built it with his own hands. They had a 4-year-old daughter, my aunt, and my grandmother and her other brothers were actually born in this house. This tree, oh my gosh, I can't tell you the memories of all of us living in that tree. There was a swing. The boys used to walk out onto that big long limb there you see off to the right. It's no longer there. You can see it's kind of broken up. But I told my sister we can actually walk out on that limb now because we were scared. It's a small town, and this is the one motel. It's always been there. If you were visiting the town, this was the place to come to. And across from it was Windsor Lanes. And everybody, we would go through town. Right there was a Dog and Suds. We'd go in there, make the circle, just like the old Sonic places now. Drive back in there on a Friday, Saturday night, and then go across. That right there was the tiles for the building itself, and we'd get back down on this road and drive through town and come back and ride through it all again.
This I thought was really interesting. This used to be the railroad track that basically goes all the way through town, and they pulled the tracks, and that's now part of the Katy Trail. We'll tell you a little bit more about that here as we go.
Now here is actually where the Sonic is. There on the left. My mom used to walk to school all the way through here, and here on the left is the hospital. It's a behavioral center now, but it was a little hospital where my first son was born. As you come into town, I have seen pictures. I don't have any in my own possession, but I've seen pictures where horses were tied up out front. A lot of old, wonderful, beautiful architectural buildings. All the stores may have changed, but a lot of the buildings are still there. There's some new ones in there. This is the one four-way stop in town.
This street that was off to our left here is so unusual because there's parking in the middle of the street. I'd never seen that before.
They've always done that too.
Kind of in the street.
Yeah, yeah. Come back around and go up back further west. It was basically a good 2 large blocks of businesses. It's amazing how much things change and how much they remain the same. This is the church I grew up going to every time we would come into town. Across the street.
I love the gas pump out there.
Now as we're going out north of town, make our way up, it was basically a crossroads. And all the businesses and churches up here, a lot of them are still the same buildings.
You know, we both came from small towns. I was from a town of around 1,300. This is around 2,700 now in population, and so it was almost double the size of my little town.
And I think it always did kind of right around 3,000.
Now everybody knows my train thing, and as we're coming north on Route 2, you see this caboose sitting here. And that's actually a restored caboose that when the city got it, it was green and gold, and when they started to strip the paint off, it was the actual bicentennial caboose that was used along that rail line.
And this is all a part of the Katy Trail. It's actually a state park now. Runs quite a ways through the state.
There's their old grain silos. That's where the depot used to set. In fact, there's the foundation for it.
They've made a nice little city park. Didn't used to be there. Now this says it says Windsor to Greenridge. The brown trail part in there is actually they can take horses on there.
Yeah, the trail is actually considered a Missouri State Park, and it's really nice.
Yeah. The city actually began in 1855, and it was actually called Belmont, and was changed to Windsor in 1859. Now all of that green part of the trail is hiking and biking, and it runs quite a ways through the state. As much as I hate to see the trains go away, it's wonderful to know that they saved the trail at least.
Now there's an Amish buggy, which you hear the horses clip-clopping up and down the street all the time. There's an Amish community to the north and also one to the south. This was the old elementary school?
Yes, this was the old elementary school. In fact, at one point it was school for all of the aged kids, and then they added this on. This is new elementary, and I can remember the play equipment out back. So the swings go way high.
This building's the junior and senior high school.
And I actually graduated from high school. I only went here that 1 year. I think I went for a couple months in the elementary. And it wouldn't be coming home without coming into the cemetery and paying my respects to the family members that came here before us and have passed the torch of life on to the rest of us.
Now this is Farrington City Park, and Farrington City Park is a beautiful little park, big lake in the middle of it, and we're showing you this not only for the park, but the city also has RV spaces, and we'll show you more about that as we go.
This has a trail that goes all the way around that lake, and this is where everybody in the town comes out for special events and holidays and picnics. I've been told, now I wasn't here all of the years, of course I left, my mother was still raising children, and I've been told that this little pavilion over here on the left that's shaped kind of like a mushroom, she always wanted to get that space, so she came early. She did quite a spread.
There's another pavilion on over, but it doesn't have that kind of character.
Yeah. And my mother was a character.
Nice playgrounds, beautiful view of the lake. If you go back out onto the street that goes along the side of the lake, this brings you over to the other side of the park. That just mesmerized me.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty neat. But you'll see they've got tennis court, they've got baseball field, they've got disc golf set up all over it, and it was constantly being used.
Yes, it was.
Another pavilion, a playground, and what a great use of a tree that wasn't around anymore.
That's right. That's right. I remember as a teenager coming out there and hanging out with kids.
Now just across from the lake and the park is the Farrington City Park campground. That area there is all tent spaces. It does have a bathhouse.
And it's a little rough, but at least it's some facility.
That's right. $30 a night, full hookup. They have 8 spaces. And you can reserve them right over the city's website. They're gravel. They're all pretty level.
It was quiet and peaceful, except for the owls. And if anybody knows me, they know I love the sound of the owls. So it was wonderful.
So Cathy, what was it like coming back to Windsor, Missouri?
It is always wonderful coming back here. It changes and changes and changes. Gosh, it's been over 50 years since I actually lived here, and the first 20, it was constantly changing every time I'd come to visit my grandmother. But yeah, absolutely, I love this place. I love this place.
And as far as Farrington Park and the little RV camp here, it's a great spot. It's very inexpensive.
It's peaceful.
It's very quiet
Yes.
and peaceful. And it's located right on Highway 52, about halfway between Clinton and Sedalia.
Yeah.
So if you're going up and down 65 or going up and down 13, it's about a halfway in between, maybe a little closer to Clinton than Sedalia, but it's a great little spot for us, about halfway between Branson and Kansas City.
There you go.
So it works out great if you just need a quick overnight in a very nice, peaceful town. Better make it a couple of overnights because you'll want to look around the town too.
That's right.
With that, if you've enjoyed the video today, leave us a thumbs up. We certainly appreciate it. And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, at the end of the video, you'll see a button in this corner. Tap that button and you can also ring the notification bell there. That way you'll know when every one of our videos come out.
And thank you for following us as we follow the moon.